Today I just wanted to talk about the whole subject of abortions because on my answers to questions video I didn't do a really good job of talking about it, and yeah. So I'm gonna try to answer that a little bit better this time, but I probably won't. Sorry. To start off with, I just want to ask, are you anti-choice? If so, why? Now, if that answer was because of a personal or religious belief, then why should it be everybody's law? If you're against having an abortion, don't have one. It's really that simple. It's kind of like if you're against plastic surgery, don't have one. You're not going to outlaw it, are you? Just don't take away women's reproductive rights just because of your own personal beliefs. And then you have the people that talk about how it's murder. Just because this clump of cells almost kind of looks like a human being does not mean it is. Fingers freaking don't prove anything. Plus, I find it kind of ironic that a lot of anti-choicers call themselves pro-life yet are pro-war as well and have no problem with all of the murders being done in the name of war. And then you have those anti-choicers, pro-lifers, that actually murdered a doctor that performed abortions. I'm sorry, but I kind of fail to see how this is pro-life. Now I know there's gonna be a couple people out there that are gonna get all angry with me because I generalize pro-lifers a certain way. Ugh! Jesus! I'm just saying that the name pro-life is not very accurate and it should be changed. But of course they'll never change it. You know why? Because it makes it seem like anyone against them is anti-life, which is actually not at all true. The first thing a lot of people talk about when they're talking about abortions is the child that it could have been. And I hate this, first of all, but I'll talk about it a little bit. The common thing is, what if this thing grew up to become like an amazing person who changed the world or cured cancer or blah blah blah. The chances of that happening, very slim. But also, what if this thing became a mass murderer or a rapist or something awful? That argument is just completely invalid. Move on. I just don't understand why we're talking so much about what this child could have been instead of looking at children that are here now, people that are alive now, that could be something, but they're not getting the right education or health care that they need to actually become somebody. But I guess it's kind of like, oh, who cares about them? They're here, it's their own problem. Yeah. But moving on from that, this is more of an issue of the woman that has this abortion than about the baby thing that could have been. Can we start thinking about the woman here, please? Some people think that people are having abortions as some kind of birth control because they're too lazy to take birth control or something. That is so stupid. What people don't seem to understand is that birth control, even when used properly, is not 100% effective. You could still get pregnant. And do you know why people take birth control? It's because they don't want to get pregnant. So if that does fail by chance, why should they be required to keep this child they didn't want? Why should they get punished for something failing? And why should a child be that punishment? If you really care about life, then you would want this child to have the best life ever. And they're not really gonna get it in an unwanted home. And yes, there is the adoption option. I just love how so many people that are saying, don't abort, adopt, are also the ones that are saying, oh, I don't know if I could ever adopt, the child needs to be genetically mine. And plus this just means that this woman has to go through 9 months of pregnancy with a child she doesn't even want in the first place. Then you have those anti-choicers that actually want places like Planned Parenthood to be defunded. This is just beyond, I don't understand what is on their minds when they're thinking this, but it's ridiculous. Do you know what Planned Parenthood does? It's not just like this abortion party clinic. Planned Parenthood provides low cost or free birth control to people that can't afford it. And they also help women with their reproductive health and things like that. Now, why would somebody need to get free or low cost birth control? It's because they can't pay for it themselves. Since they can't pay for their birth control themselves, then how are they gonna pay for a child? What? You're gonna force someone to have children because they can't pay for their own birth control? Huh? Some people just don't want their money going to helping pay other people's birth control, but you'd rather have your money go to something a lot more expensive, and that's to raising a child through their life. And then some of these people are also the same ones that are against proper sex education. I mean, just me saying that, like, that should be kind of, like, obvious to you how dumb that is. Like, what? Okay, in summary, why might a woman have an abortion? Birth control failed, don't want a child. Maybe they were raped. Why should someone be responsible for a child just because they were raped? That is forced on them. Health problems. There are women out there that have severe health conditions, and having a child would be a huge problem for them. Now, if you care about her life, then you'll care about that. There's the money issue, obviously. If someone can't afford to have a child, then they can't afford to have a child. The end. Now, there's a really common misconception that a lot of people having abortions are teenagers that are doing it over and over again. And even if that was true, wouldn't that just mean that we needed better sex education? But it's not true. So many of these people are women that have lives and careers and things that they need to take care of, and they don't, and a child is just not an option. There's the simple fact that outlawing abortions won't make them stop happening. People are gonna still have abortions, just they'll be unsafe. If you really care about the safety of women, then you will not outlaw abortions. And then I ran out of memory on that camera, and I'm just not really bothered to like clear out memory and re-record on that camera, so I'm just doing it here. If you have any arguments against abortions, or if you have more arguments for pro-choice that I did not cover, which there are plenty of them, just please leave them in the comments below. There's so many things I didn't cover, it's just ridiculous, but you know, what are you gonna do? I have a dumb brain and I can't think very well. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys next week. By the way, you guys, I almost forgot. Vagina! 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 Yeah, that's all. Bye!